Man, they went after it, and we got some real good work done. So we're going to back it down today, pretty significantly, and get them and now start getting them ready. Still competing against each other, but just kind of get their bodies back a little bit for this preseason game. Yeah, I mean, look, it's like you saw what Bullock did the other day in that scrimmage, but really up to that point he's been pretty good. Now that was out at Ford Field, but this just brings us in a guy who, let's get a look at him. He's got a big leg and he's a young guy, and look, it's still everything's about competition, and Bullock knows that. I mean, he's been in this league long enough, but we get a look at him and let Bullock keep kicking here and just see where it goes.
Might be different in kicker. I know you brought in the quarterback obviously this week too. Is there a cutoff when you need to bring in like a veteran or someone who knows these systems as opposed to picking out a young guy and kind of throwing him into the mix?
Do you mean at the cornerback position or any position?
Like anywhere. Is there a point in time where you say it's too late to throw a rookie or second year guy?
That's a good question, because yes and no. I mean, I think if you really felt like that whoever our young guys are miles away, just developmental wise, man, they're farther away than we thought, and we need to do this. Yeah, that can happen. I think we're still. I know Brad and I are always thinking, man, how can we get some of these young guys up and going, and how quickly can they develop, and to where we know we're not doing them a disservice, but we're also helping our team. We're not doing our team a disservice as well. But I would. Brad and I aren't in any type of panic mode or anything right now. Like I said, we're just going into the first preseason game, so. It weighs a lot. Sometimes I think of it like how much the tests are weighted versus the quizzes or the everyday homework. You certainly the people that put out the work day in, day out, and you know who they are. That's you can't lose track of that. But yet, even those guys, if you do that every day, but then all of a sudden, every time the lights come on, those are red flags. And so you can't ignore those. You just can't. Now, you have to take into account a guy does those things every day, the right things over and over in practice, but yet when you get in these preseason games, it's too big, it's too big. Well, how young is this guy? He's a rookie. Let's see where he goes. Let's give him a chance to develop. Maybe he can grow out of that. But I don't think you can ignore that. I think where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think there is. I just think those things show, man, and they have to be taken into account, because that's what Sunday is, man. It's about the lights and the pressure and everything that comes with it, and the guys that rise up. I see you. Who's this back here? No, not you. Not you. Who's this stud back here in the back? Oh yeah. What's his name? How you doing, man? Good luck today. We'll get it. Yes, sir. I see how you just took that one. See? Go ahead. I'm messing with you.
Can you set a playtime schedule for you Wednesday through Friday night? Have you organized your whole day?
We're doing that tonight. We're officially going to do that tonight. We have an idea. There again, we're thinking a quarter, but that could be anywhere 12 to 15 plays. Could be more, could be less. And then there'll be exceptions to that. We're going to talk about that as a staff tonight. Exactly, who are the guys that may not be playing, that we choose not to play because of whatever. Could be a little bit, they're a little bit nicked up, or we feel that way. And then even the twos and threes, the second, third group, the rookies, how much do we want them to play? How much are we looking at here? So we'll do that tonight. Yeah, both of those guys there again, we feel like is those are minor, and those are just were precautionary. You know, like somebody like up to this point, you want all you guys to practice, but like Hawkinson, he's had a real good camp, and he's been healthy, and he's been good, and we feel like he's going to be fine. But yet, you know, we want to make sure we're taking care of him too. Yep. Yep. Yeah. So look, we've he had a couple of things when he was at Washington, you know, that we wanted to make sure he's good with. He's kind of had a tight back and some things, and so we wanted just to get some clarity on where that was at. So we've kind of sent him around to a couple of specialists, just making sure, and everything seems to be good. And so we just chose that let's really think about rehab, strengthening, things of that nature this week, and then let's get him fired up next week. So you'll see him next week is the plan. No, I mean, look, you're always going to have some type of concern, but yet I would say, man, he's young, he's hungry, he works. I think we've got good people around him to help him. I think that we know what we're looking at now because we've sent him to a couple of places, and I think he'll be just fine. I think you know what, you can't worry about it, and I think he'll be okay, and that's what we wanted, clarity on that. We think this will be fine, and we're ready to put him back into practice next week and let him grow. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but yet it does. I mean, you miss out on a good week and a half of some work and pads, but yet I would tell you there's still time. There's still time to get him there, and he'll continue to grow as the season goes. And look, we want him to develop. We want him to come along. I mean, that's the reason we drafted him. But also, I don't want this to be like we're in a hurry to do something that he's not ready for either. Like, we'll take this as it comes because he's willing to put in the work. It's nothing like that. I mean, he's hungry. He's mad at us that we sent him to somewhere else. Like, he wants to practice, man. And you love that about him. And so, but also, hey, let's take it as it comes. And when he's ready, he's ready. If he's not, he's not. And that's all right too right now.
Two more guys.
Some injury situations on the depth chart opened up opportunities for Spurrier guys, Dedrick Mills, Asian Carter, guys like that. How big is this opportunity for preseason game to presume that they'll see that continue increase workload?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable opportunity for a lot of these guys. And Brad and I both, our eyes are open. They're open. We're looking, man. Just show us something. And you know, hell, you brought up Mills, and you know, Mills has kind of had a little bit of a, you know, he's kind of tweaked his groin a little bit and hammy, but he's been battling through it, and hopefully he'll be able to play in this preseason game. But yet, man, I've seen about the last 3 days, I feel like the lights come on for him. There's some runs he's hit. He's been doing some things on special teams. It's encouraging, you know. But he's not the only one, to your point. I mean, we're looking. You know, if you want a job, we're looking. I don't care who you are, what you play, where you are on the depth chart. Like, if you want a job, Brad and I are looking for it, man. I mean, we told them that from day one, and that's the truth. We're going to give you a chance.
Jamie, last one.
Dave Burkett wrote a great article about Evan Heim working for Amazon. I'm wondering if you appreciate the guy's grit to do something like that while he waits, and any odd jobs you've done in your career.
I do appreciate that a lot because he's moving on with his life. It's like, this is what I got to do right now. This is what I'm doing, and I'm not sitting around on the couch sulking, or like, it's time to move on and put your best foot forward. So I do appreciate that. For me, odd jobs, I worked at a chicken shack when I was 16 years old. As a matter of fact, growing up, all my life I'd worked on our cattle ranch. My dad, one summer I was like, Dad, I don't want to do that, man. I'll see if I can go get paid, because I didn't get paid for doing that job. That was like auto. Anyway, so I worked at a chicken shack, and I learned how to clean chicken, and I could do it blind over and over, and I'll never do it again. So I appreciate everybody that does that type of work, because it got old quick. But anyway, that was my odd job. And as a matter of fact, Okay. So I did that for a while, and finally one day he let me work the window. I got to work the window. The window was here. This was the top of the window. So I would stick my head through. That was awesome. But I did get paid better, so it was good stuff. Appreciate you guys.